So, Russia and forces loyal to President Assad have launched major new offensives in Syria. Government aircraft have attacked the northern city of Aleppo, while the Russians targeted what they say are terrorist training camps. The US has condemned Russia's role in the bombing, and it comes as Syria's President Assad says America's new president-elect could be a natural ally. Here's our diplomatic correspondent, James Robbins.
Look closely and you can see what appear to be parachute bombs falling on Aleppo. After weeks of relative calm, the besieged city is again under attack, part of a wide new offensive by President Assad and his Russian allies to crush all resistance. As Syrian White Helmet rescuers responded once again, these teams are funded by Western governments. Moscow swiftly denied any involvement in today's strikes on the city. Its previous bombing here was widely condemned. Instead, Russia is trumpeting the fact that its flagship aircraft carrier Kuznetsov is now in combat, launching airstrikes Russia says are targeting jihadists in the Syrian provinces of Idlib and Homs. President Vladimir Putin, hours after his first phone conversation with President-elect Trump, was being briefed by his military chiefs.
For the first time in the history of Russia's naval forces, an aircraft carrier, Admiral Kuznetsov, took part in combat operations. Today, Su-33 jets were flying from the carrier.
Russia has been firing cruise missiles too, launched from a frigate. As well as land-based missiles, the Defence Ministry say have been hitting ammunition stores. All part of a strategy to make real gains in Syria while the US government is in transition. In the war for control of Syria, Aleppo has become critical. It was once Syria's largest city and the country's industrial centre. But since 2012, it's been a key battleground of the civil war. The city is divided. Broadly, the government side controls the west. The rebels are hanging on in eastern Aleppo. The UN estimates there are still over 250,000 civilians there. It looks as if President Putin hopes that retaking Aleppo will tip the wider war decisively in President Assad's favour. And after speaking to Donald Trump, he seems to believe that the next American president will be less hostile.
Once he's inaugurated, he has to make a choice and make it very quickly. What kind of support will he give the rebels? What sort of support will he give the Kurds? How hard will he press against Raqqa?
About what he's going to do.
But Syria's President Assad is already seizing on the uncertainty. Telling Portuguese television tonight he sees Donald Trump as a potential ally, not a foe.
If he's going to fight the terrorists, of course we're going to be ally, natural ally in that regard, with the Russians, with the Iranians, with many other countries who wanted to defeat the terrorists.
So what is clear? A lull in attacks on Aleppo is over, a major new offensive is underway, but the war still looks like agony without end. James Robbins, BBC News.